Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night. Where tonight, when we finally figure out the right buttons, we're going to be watching season 25, round 7 of Sunday Night Lights. Where tonight, I'm your host, Alex McKellen. Joining me, as always, is the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. We are at Snetterton, Corey, which is, as usual, not the most popular track, but we still managed to get a reasonably good field here to put on, hopefully, what will be a great race.
16 of the best skippy drivers that we could assemble here tonight, Alex. 39.88 strength of field, which is not bad, and a very interesting track layout for this race here tonight. The Snetterton 200 layout, which is just slightly different to the 300 layout we ran last season.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Done a few laps here this week myself, including some racing, and yeah, I really like this layout. It's only 8 corners, but they are dead set some of the most unique and challenging corners in iRacing, and really, it's been that challenging nature of corners this week. It has brought those who've come unstuck, of course, and yeah, look, it does lead to some interesting racing. Certainly, challenge the drivers here tonight.
That's what we can hope for. I mean, we don't assemble the best skippy drivers just so they can sit out there and potter around and do nothing. And if last week's race was anything to go by at Laguna Seca, tonight's race should be an absolutely cracking one, Alex.
Yeah, that's it. But let's check out who's shown up here tonight. First, the Japanese flyer, Naoya Nagai. He's the one-plated car here tonight. Joins us once again. Watch him in quali. He's absolutely flying typically. Julian O'Fray, Frenchman, back once again. He's the number 2. Giuseppe Tellini, the first of the 2 Italians here tonight. Car number 3. Just behind him is Loris Amadio, the other Italian driver tonight. One to watch here, actually, is Japanese driver Takumi Yamato. Got a podium here last season at the slightly longer layout, but also really quick around here and just cracked 5,000 I rating in recent memory, so be keen to continue that good form. George Maddock joins us once again. Of course, had a very action-packed race here last season. And he's number 6. Vasco Sorowski, who came second in the warm-up race here just before. He's car number 7, just ahead of Hiroshi Ueda. He's the third of 4 Japanese drivers here tonight, just ahead of Dimitri Philippides in the number 9 car. And Braden Martin makes it back into the top split as the number 10 car, the second of 4 ANZ drivers, Corey.
That's right, Alex. Then we have Marcus Donner from DATCH as our 11th plated car here tonight. Mitchell Nichols from AusNZ, the third of 4. He's going to be in the 12th plated car here tonight. Following him is Paul Wilson, also from the AusNZ club, wrapping up our Aussie quintet in the 13th plated car. We've got Randy Van Deventer.
That's the one. Deventer, yeah.
From Bellano, and I do recognize that name, Alex. Haven't seen him in a while, I do believe. Mark Lay from Asia Club in the 15th plated car, and wrapping up the field is Hirokazu Fukumoto from Japan.
Absolutely, he hasn't taken the track yet though, is Fukumoto, but hopefully he does manage to crack it for a lap. Meanwhile, speaking of cracking for a lap, 20.8 on his no, that was his second lap time, is Naoya Nagai, I think. Looking at my telemetry and sticking it on pole. That's an impressive effort in quali, I have to say. But it's no surprise from the Japanese driver. He's usually pretty stellar in quali. I'm showing folks with 2 laps under their belt, but for some reason I feel like they've got another. Corey, what do you reckon?
Having a look at my telemetry, Alex, it's telling me that they're on their second laps currently. So a 120.859 is the first lap time there for Nagai-san, which is a pretty speedy lap around here as everyone's starting to come out of the final section to finish off their second laps.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I think Nagai is on his second flying lap. O'Fray certainly coming up to cross the lines. Currently provisionally in second as Paul Wilson jumps up into 6th. O'Fray, yeah, he's only a 20.9. Nagai-san, what's he got as he comes up? He's already provisionally in pole. It's hard to go better, but he might want to set a better time. 20.8 that time around. 20.7 indeed. That's an amazing time in quali, Corey. There's a few Left still to come. No, they're all sort of, yeah, my telemetry was out of whack. I think Paul Wilson, too, it's great to see. Paul Wilson and the other ANZ driver, Mitchell Nichols, they've been bashing it out in the second split all season and half of last season as well. Well, this track hasn't brought out the plethora of regulars that we normally see. We've still got a few diehards, but what it's done is it's let a couple of these guys who've been absolutely hammering it in the second split have a run in the top split, mate. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they go.
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. And you never know how you're going to go in the top split race until you actually get here and try it out. And, it's great to see a lot of these second split guys making it up and making the step up into the top split races because, it's exciting to see some of these new names come through. It's exciting to see what they can do in the slightly faster environment that is the Sunday night Skippies racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Wilson currently sitting in 8th. Too, who's missed out a bit in quali is Vasco Sorowski. 7-plated car here tonight, only sitting in 14th, which is perhaps a very big surprise given he was in the front pack with O'Fray and Nagai all through the warm-up race, and actually due to an incident in the middle of that, he broke away with Yamato and they fought it out for the win. So yeah, look, if he gets a chance, hopefully he'll get out there. I'll tell you who's joined. It's Hirokazu Fukumoto. He's joined. It's making his debut. Yeah, I don't know if he's got time to put it a lap though. He's on his out lap now, so yeah, maybe not this time. But car number 16, the last guy in the top split, and he might be starting from the back.
What he might be doing, Alex, is just coming out in a way where he's not going to set a lap, but he could still push as if he was trying to do qualifying here. It's a sneaky little way of getting that little bit of track time without having the stress of trying to 1x or 0x a lap, so you can run freely and get those extra couple laps of practice.
Yeah, absolutely. He could well be doing that, or he could have just been having a cup of tea. I don't know, but his debut tonight is likely to be from the final row of the grid, with just 3/4 of a minute to go. And while we wait, folks, don't forget to check out the Locked On iRacing podcast, where we do an SNL review each week as part of the news and results podcast that covers ANZ racing more broadly, but don't forget to go check it out. It comes out on a Wednesday. Braden Martin, who's in the race, along with Peter Wilkinson, who I think will be in the second or third split here tonight. We go through all the latest news and results on the Locked On iRacing podcast, so make sure you check it out. But Fukumoto, he is getting around. This will be his first flying lap, but unfortunately it takes a bit longer than 15 seconds to get around, Corey, so he's got nothing at this stage as the clock ticks down. And we might, on that basis, go and grab a look at tonight's grid for round 7 of season 25 Sunday Night Lights. No surprises to see the Japanese driver of Naoya Nagai sitting on pole with a 20.7, perhaps the time more surprising than the name. Julien O'Fray from France, 1/10, nearly 1.5 tenths behind him, joins him on the front row. Takumi Yamato, who we said had pace here, starts from the second row. Japanese driver in third off the grid. George Maddock for UK&I joins him on the second row, starting fourth. Loris Amadio, first of the Italian drivers, starts fifth. Dimitri Philippides from Asia starts sixth. Marcus Dorner joins us once again. He's starting seventh. Paul Wilson, he is the leading ANZ driver, starting in eighth, just ahead of Braden Martin, who starts ninth. Mitchell Nichols, the third of the 4 ANZ drivers, starts 10th. Giuseppe Tellini, the other Italian, starts 11th. Hiroshi Ueda from Japan starts 12th. Rounding out the 6th row of the grid. 13th tonight, Randy Van Deventer. He starts 13th. Vasco Sorowski for Team Clowns out of 14th. Mark Lay joins us starting from 15th. And Hirokazu Fukumoto from Japan starts in 16th and last off the grid, Corey, as the boys and girls. No, Nagai hasn't hopped on the grid yet, so we're just waiting for him, and then we might even get underway, mate.
That's exactly right, Alex, and I'm excited to see how these guys are going to take that run down into turn 2, especially as everyone is now on the grid. The revs are rising. The red lights mean rev. And the green lights meant go. We're underway for round number 7 here from the Snetterton 200 circuit as the field starts filing down into turn number 1, Alex.
Yeah, through Richie's the first time round, or Rich's, I should say. Yeah, it's Nagai leading them away. Of course, it gets very interesting down at the Montreal hairpin, let me tell you. These guys will be sorting themselves out here. Expect to see a bit of action here. Although everyone seemed to be playing pretty nicely, and it looks like the entire field has got through for at least lap 1. They're led, of course, by Nagai's son, who's out to just under half a second's lead, with O'Fray coming under all sorts of pressure from Maddock already.
That's exactly right. And O'Fray himself, no slouch, trying to get back to the back of Nagai's son here as we come into Brundle and then Nelson. Looks like for now, everyone's just trying to take it easy. I know I see a little bit of side-by-side towards the back of the field and possibly run around Alex, and I do believe that's the 8 of Ueda.
Yeah, Ueda, he's gone around and joining. He's back straight now, but as the leaders come through the final sector now, through Murray's for the first time. Again, one of these really challenging corners here. Most of the field look like we've got through okay. Yeah, look, line astern, it's only... Oh, no, we've had a bit more action down the back here. Lei and Fukumoto look to be getting themselves together after an incident through that final sector. This time round, though, back up front, we've got Naoya Nagai leading O'Fray, Maddock, and Yamato is almost dropped there. Although he's only really 7/10 behind, Corey. Still plenty of time to make that up.
That's exactly right, Alex. And with these 2 long straightaways that we have here at Snetterton, it's going to be fairly easy for him to try and get that draft back and catch back up. And with Lorio Samadio behind him, that should also help him to get that little bit of slipstream advantage. Maybe those two can work together here a little bit to catch this front packers. Now, coming up towards Brundle, O'Fray going for the move for the lead, and Guy's son not battling that one. Allows him through, and I hear some brakes locking up in the background as well, Alex.
Oh, yeah, it's the 9 of Philippides who's come unstuck through Brundle into Nelson by the looks. So, honestly, in my opinion, one of, if the most challenging sections in iRacing, the Brundle-Nelson combination of corners there, the floating left-hander at Brundle into the tight right-hander at Nelson. Very, very hard to gather and position the car up for those two, but these guys making a really good show of it so far as we see O'Fray. He's just out ahead of Nagai-san yet again as they start lap 3 of 18. Corey's Nagai now defending from Maddock, who's forced to go around the outside. Maddock looking very racy. That's usually his go. And Nagai-san 2.0 holding him off at this stage, Corey.
That's right. Maddock got a very good run coming out of Murray's and immediately took it to the left of track. I think that might have been a little bit silly because, puts him on the outside for Riches. But coming down the back straight here, they're a little bit strung out. I don't think he's going to be able to go for another move here unless he gets another great run through that final section. And you can see now, Nagai trying to battle back on O'Fray. Makes a very late move there, but makes it stick very nicely as now the field head through Nelson and onto Bombhole.
Yeah, look, how to make the most challenging section in iRacing even more difficult, overtake on the way through Brundle. And that's what Nagai-san did there. He got it done, and now it's Maddock and now it's O'Fray who's got to fend off the hard-charging UK&I driver in George Maddock. Yamato and Amadio, they're the sum total of the final 2 in the front 5 that have broken away now. They are some 2 seconds ahead of Braden Martin, who now leads the secondary pack of half a dozen. We've seen Swarovski now is only up a couple. He's up to 12th. He's in the SNL points on the back just of that pack. Expect him maybe to have a crack and move a bit further forward this time round as we jump back up the front just to catch Martin, letting it all hang loose through turn 1 at the start of lap 4. Our leading quintet, though, led by Nagai, showing the rest of this field a clean pair of heels at this stage, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. I mean, these 5 at the very front of the pack, they're just absolutely pulling away from Braden Martin right now. That gap from 5th back to 6th is huge. And now got O'Fray trying to get the lead back again and does so going into Brundle. as you said, making the most difficult section on this track even more difficult. But these guys are absolute professionals in this front five, and they're making sure that they all sticks very nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. As they come through Coram now, sweeping fourth gear corner, leading into the tight final corner at Murray's. Depending on your preference, it'll be first or second gear. Do you carry the speed in second, or do you want the drive from first? Just driver preference at the end of the day, of course. Braden Martin still leading that second pack there. Some 2.8 seconds off the final person in the lead pack of Amadio. But back up front through turn one now. It's O'Fray this time round. Nagai fending off Maddock another lap, or at least another turn one. And the question is, Corey, how long does Maddock wait? He's been rather patient by his raciness standards, I should say. Or is it just that he's hanging on rather than being in a position to attack, you reckon?
It could be a little bit of 6 of one and half dozen of the other here, Alex. Because, you know that Maddock can be a very, very aggressive driver. As you can see here, trying to stick right on the back of O'Fray, who was looking like he was going to make a move on the guy. Couldn't quite get that done. O'Fray squeezing back into line just in front of Maddock. I think Maddock is probably just hanging on here a little bit, Alex, because you see that he's been very aggressive there in third. He just can't quite get the right run to make the moves.
Yeah, look, it's tough, you know. Skippies, when they get in a train like this, very hard to shuffle the decks at a track like this where there's really only the two fifth gear sections. We're on one now on the front straight. Start, finish straight. It's very easy to defend here, but you can see there's nowhere, even if he had a run, there's nowhere for Maddock to go as the leaders go side by side through turn one at Richards once again. So realistically, you might have a crack up the inside into Montreal potentially, but this stage, nothing is doing so far. Yamato forced to defend that time from Amadio. Now we lost Dormer at some stage. I'm going to go and see if it was in combination with Tellini. Yes, that. Oh my word, that's how to launch a Skippy between Dormer and Tellini. Let's go. Just hang on, take another look. I kind of missed what happened there. Oh yeah, Dormer's just the rear of his car's let go, and then he's been launched into the stratosphere by the chasing Tellini. But that's what ended his night. As we jump back up the front, Dormer now in the pits, or he might, yeah, he's back on track now, but that was a long time to the pits to get that fast repair. But it's still Nagai up front with O'Fray and Maddock as they come down to Murray's for the end of lap 6, Corey. We're about a third of the way through the race. Pretty processional at this stage, mate, although we can see Amadio starting to get itchy feet, trying to get past Yamato, and Yamato just lifts and lets him by rather than lose the front pack, mate.
Mario is another one of those really aggressive drivers that we usually see throughout the field. And again, I just think with the way that this train is working right now, the chances just aren't there for him to really make those moves stick. Because, you know, Maddock, you know, he's still sitting there in third, and, you know, last time by, there wasn't even a challenge for a lead, let alone a change of position. Here we go now, Maddock looking to the inside of a fray as they make their way down the Bentley straight, heading towards Brundle. And if he can carry enough momentum here, he could get up the inside of Nagai-san as well, Alex.
Oh, it's too early for 3 wide, surely. But really getting the drive that time was Maddock. Oh, they're going to go side by side through Nelson, if you don't mind. At the closing stages of lap 7. Oh, there you go. Frey says, no, I want to be in P2. They're going to go side by side again through Coram. On the run down into Murray's this time round. Are they going to go side by side? Oh, Maddock, the rear let go entirely. Oh, no. Hang on. I'm trying to find him. He's dropping down the order. It's very easy to lose the rear with too much. Oh, how's the rejoin? No Christmas cards for you, George. From Randy DeVenter there. Let's go quickly see what happened to Maddock there. Well, we know what happened to Maddock, really. He's come around. It's very, very easy to lose the rear of the car through here. Oh, no, I've hit the wrong button. Sorry, folks. Let's go back again. very, very easy to lose the rear of the car through here, and you can just see. I don't know if there was netcode there, actually, just to unsettle it even more. And he's desperately trying to hang on to it. Snell would be proud of that until he starts rotating. And what's happened behind here is Amadio got through as he's done the right thing in holding the brakes. Oh, you got to let him go though. And then, yeah, clanger as Amadio hits him. Yamato sneaks through, but that's really going to give us a race in two up front. In fact, that battling through that final sector has really given Nagai a break. He's got just, look, it's about a second. But if it's long enough a gap if he's good enough, Corey.
I think that the gap might be just a little bit more than what the draft could appease here, Alex. On the telemetry I've got showing it's about 1.1, maybe 1.2 seconds. There is a little bit of a snipper draft out there for Afray. It's not really going to be helping him in that long run. What I'm most curious about is how much damage has been done to Amadio's car here, as now he's sitting in third. And he's got a train of 3 other drivers behind him, including Yamato, Martin, and Nichols, Alex.
Oh, this is where the action will be. Amadio and Yamato goes up the ins. Oh, Martin's gone. Martin and Nichols, the two Aussie drivers, are gone as Martin loops it back onto the track just ahead of Mataku. Oh, yep, okay. They've managed to get it through there. Let's go check out what happened there if I can find the right spot on the telemetry. So they're coming down into the Montreal hairpin here. I'm watching Braden Martin. Has he just... What's happened here? Yamato's gone through. And keep going, keep going. Oh, he's been clipped up the inside, surely. Yeah, he's been turned by the 12. There you go. 12 car of Mitchell Nichols. ANZ friendly fire, Corey. That's cost us dearly, surely.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing on the radios, Alex, there's a little bit of extra checkup there that the two AusNZ drivers just weren't quite ready for, and that's what led to that contact. And, you know, Braden has actually recovered not too badly here. He's still sitting in 9th. And he's right up the back of Matic and still in with a chance of trying to make something of it here in the top 10. But his chances of a top 3 definitely fallen by the wayside now.
Yeah, he did better than his compatriot who he had the incident with, Mitchell Nichols, who's just run through the pits. I'm watching Vasco Sorofsky. I've been keeping a quiet eye on him, if you don't mind. It's not quite the Christian Perez runner last week, but he's up 9 spots in the top 5. That's not bad for a bloke who started 14th in a field of 16. So certainly making the most of the incidents or the misadventures of others here. But, you know, you make your own luck to a large degree. He's got a hungry pack behind him of Wilson and Tellini. Tellini all over the back of Wilson, if you don't mind, through one of the most challenging sections, as we've said. He's putting all sorts of pressure on Wilson, who hasn't had too many runs in the top split, the ANZ driver, so he's getting to have a crack with some of the best in the business, although I note that Tellini's carrying a bit of that damage on the front wing, which will absolutely be hampering his pace there, Corey, as he now looks to go the outside. Sorowski giving him the draft too. He says, don't worry about my ANZ compatriot, I'm going to give the draft to the Italian.
Yeah, it's definitely... bit of a weird one there. I thought he would have helped out his AusNZ compatriot. Maybe there's a little bit of bad blood there along the line somewhere. We'll never know. But Vasco definitely showing that you know, slow and steady can win the race sometimes, and if not, then they can still yield you a pretty decent position. All he's got to do now is just try and hold off both Tellini and Wilson. And we know Tellini from his vast experience here in the top split, Alex, and he's going to be a difficult person to keep behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I saw a massive gap between Nagai and O'Fray, but I was just misreading the telemetry, and O'Fray has managed to get back on. He's also done a 19.8 in draft last lap, if you don't mind. Not many folks I've seen this week get into the 19s, but that's a fair effort, albeit draft assisted. Then there's a 7-second gap to Amadio and Yamato, second of the Japanese drivers there. And again, he's got pace here, which is good. Then we drop down to 5th with Swarovski, some nearly 4.5 seconds behind, but then being chased hard by Tellini and Wilson. And I'm going to suggest with Tellini's injured front there, the bent up wing on the front left there, Swarovski might just have the pace to get away with this one.
Very well, Alex. As you outlined at the start of this broadcast, Swarovski did do a very good job there in the warm-up race. You know, he was leading it for a long time and ended up finishing second. He's definitely going to be no slouch around this track. He's definitely just doing what he can to hold on and hopefully yield a decent position for the AusNZ boys, as just behind him, Wilson looking to make a move up on the inside of Tellini. This is where Swarovski should be helping out his AusNZ compatriot. But again, favouring just staying on the racing line there, Alex.
Yeah, look, you can see Tellini really closing up in some of the key braking zones, like into the Montreal hairpin there, but it's that long straight where that front wing damage will be hampering him, and it's putting him under threat by Wilson. So this might be the break that Swarovski needs to hang on to that top 5 position and remain the leading ANZ driver in the championship, which he's managed to do this season so far. And we're into the second half of the season, so, you know, all being well and equal, he's certainly up for a good run. As we check then back on the stricken Braden Martin, who's not only got a damaged rear wing, he's also got a fiery Englishman behind him in George Maddox, sporting almost matching wings there, actually. If you look at them, almost identical damaged wings. So Martin getting to mix it with some of the best in the world.
That's exactly right. Martin will be absolutely loving this. You'll be hating that he's down so far in the field, but he loves a good battle. And you know, as I said, he's in a decent position, still in the top 10, still going to take home some decent SNL points here as long as these two don't have it coming together. But you know, I just reckon that he's going to be trying to fight tooth and nail for this 8th place, and I don't think that they're going to be able to catch this group of 3 in front of them, as he makes a liar out of me and drops back to 9th, Alex.
he did exactly that, mate. He just started working together with the Englishman. Just ahead of them, Paul Wilson, Tellini and Swarovski. That battle for the final spot in the top 5 continues. Meanwhile, up front, with 5 laps to go as they cross the line, this time round, Nagai and O'Fray continue their battle. Some, what's that, 8, nearly 9 seconds ahead of Yamato now, who leads Amadio. Will Amadio have a look into turn 1? No, he won't. He will instead put all sorts of pressure in the mirrors of Yamato, is Amadio, and they continue on. Meanwhile, Swarovski, yeah, he's still hanging on there. He's got Tellini in his mirrors as well, but you can see, what I've noticed, at least last lap, was that Tellini closes right up here in the braking zone, just behind Swarovski, gets a good drive through there. Not even so much this time round. And this is where that bent front wing really comes into play. And yeah, I think Swarovski's on a good thing here if he can keep it together, Corey.
We can only hope that he will. We got all of our hopes resting with him right now just to get a decent position. And if he can hold on to this top 5, I reckon he'll come in the voice chat and he'll be extremely happy with himself. Which, you know, is to be expected, especially with it being a top split race. And I also noticed he's only got the 2 spotters again here tonight instead of the full army once more. So just seems that maybe the less is more at the moment, Alex.
Potentially. 5 voices in your head might be a bit too much. Swarovski potentially has decided. So up the front there, though, we've got Nagai and O'Fray running away, doing their own things, doing low 1 minute 20 laps consistently. And saving themselves for the final battle. Now, O'Fray did give Nagai a touch-up in the previous race, took them both out of contention into this very corner at Montreal. It was in the middle stages of the race. So he redressed it, of course, and they went on to finish 3rd and 4th, respectively. But interesting to see what he gets done this time. As there you go, look at that. Amadio making Yamato take compromised lines, getting the better drive out, and will look to take the position from the Japanese driver at the end of the Bentley straight, Corey.
Definitely looking like he's just lurking there in the background a little bit, just waiting for the right time to be able to make a move. Having a look at the second pack of Amadio and Yamato. And I think these guys are doing a very similar thing, Alex. They're just waiting it out, waiting for these last couple of laps before they really start battling it out here. As go back now to Savoski, Tellini, and Wilson. And Tellini this time right on the tail of Savoski. And maybe he'll finally look at making a move here on the front straight. But I guess we'll have to wait and see when they come out of Murray's this time, Alex.
Yeah, look, he didn't get the run he was looking for there, absolutely, and he will come under threat from Wilson. Behind her, Wilson pulls out of the draft straight away. Interesting. And behind them, we've got Martin and Maddock, who last lap did high 120s, 120.8, oh, beg your pardon, 120.5. So actually, about 3/10, nearly 3/10 quicker, with a 2-second gap. Probably don't have the laps to make it, but they'll be giving it everything they got, particularly if Soroski and Tellini start battling, assuming Tellini's got the pace. You never know. It might be a pack of 5 there for that final spot in the top 5. Meanwhile, back up front, we got the patience of O'Fray coming through nice and strongly there, sitting behind a guy who we know has got pace to burn here. He and Yamato and Amadio switching places once again briefly. The boys getting busy through Nelson that time round. I really think that Amadio in particular, the way he unsettled through Yamato through Montreal the last time round, he was really trying to rehearse perhaps a little bit more than just race for the sake of it about how to get this this podium position out of Yamato, who we know has got great pace here, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex, and that's what most of these laps are, especially when you're in just a group of 2. If you're the car behind, it's all about that dress rehearsal. We'll probably see Amadio allow Yamato to get past him here on this lap, probably down the Bentley straight, maybe on the pit straight itself as they come to get the white flag, because you always want to be that car behind when you get a big drafting opportunity, Alex.
Yeah, potentially. Oh, Amadio taking the late apex there through Montreal. Out onto the Bentley straight this time around as we ride on board with Yamato. Japanese driver in pink livery and suit here tonight. What's he going to do? Is he going to have a look? Amadio takes the defensive line. Absolutely the way to get it done here through in terms of defence. Now, coming down through Brundle this time round, are they going to go side by side? No. Yamato backs out of it. Now coming back to our leaders as they head through the final sector. Now through Coram, down into Murray's, down into second gear. I don't think O'Fray's quite close enough, but of course it'll be the Bentley straight where he gets it done if he does, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. As they come up to the start-finish line this time, it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. You see just the amount of distance O'Fray has closed up on the guys on the front straight here, and he's going for the move into turn 1, making a liar out of you. And now it's going to be Nagai's race to try and win here, as very defensive is O'Fray going through Montreal as they come out of the little turn 3 kink there down to the Bentley straight, and immediately defensive goes O'Fray, Alex.
Yeah, caught the Japanese driver napping there through turn 1. Obviously wants the defensive line through the Bentley straight, which is absolutely the best approach. You might think you're compromising yourself into Nelson, but it is a very tough line to get right as they go through Brundle this time round, side by side. Nagai getting it done around the outside. Leaves him very tight and again makes a liar out of me. The over-under from O'Fray gives him the inside run through Coram this time round, and we've waited this long for this kind of action. It's going to be O'Fray leaving Nagai to hang out to dry through the final sector. What has he got for him, the Japanese driver? Oh, O'Fray, the rear of that car, really wants to let go, really unsettled as he comes through the final corner. Nagai will not have the legs to get it done, and it will be O'Fray who gets it. The win on the line. It's going to be tight, but it will be O'Fray as Nagai just side by side, but it is O'Fray that gets it. Second pack now, we've got Amadio just ahead of Yamato. And in the background, we see Vasco Sorowski getting another top 5 finish here, the ANZ driver, but it's Amadio and Yamato, followed by Sorowski ahead of Tellini and Wilson with a top 7 finish. Fantastic for the ANZ driver there. It was Maddock just ahead of Martin. And we'll go check our full results shortly there. But that was remarkably tactical through that final lap there, Corey, to see You know, Afraid really wanted the defensive line. I did not think Nagai could get it done through Nelson after the sweeping left of Brundle. If you leave yourself narrow into Nelson like that, usually you cannot keep it. But he did. But he left his run too poor out of Nelson to get it to get the drive out. And Afraid, brilliant underneath him.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And as you said, we'd been waiting for that kind of action the entire race, and those boys definitely put it up there to finish the race off with, which is absolutely incredible. As we said, sometimes racing can be just like a chess match. You got to wait for the perfect moment to really strike, and Frey absolutely struck it while the iron was hot that time.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if I can just grab a replay. No, it was just before that. No, that's the turn one move that really set O'Fray, but I thought it set him up really well. But then if we come down to this section here, I'll give it a bit more. I did not think that Nagai could get quite the run that he did around the outside. And typically it leaves you so narrow for the right-hander that you just can't get anything done. But what O'Fray does in the background is opens up the corner. Look at the rotation on O'Fray to come tight on exit and get the power down early. You can see Nagai can't get the power on in the same way. And sure, O'Fray is short on exit. He's not tracking out by 2 car widths. Great to leave that sort of space under these sorts of conditions. But it's given him the drive and the inside. Beautiful over under there from O'Fray. And in again, one of the most challenging sectors of iRacing. Fantastic racing from two of the best going around, Corey. But let's go check our results for round 7 of Sunday Night Lights from Snetterton. Season 25, of course, Julian O'Fray, after that magic last sector, takes it out tonight from Naoya Nagai, who gave him a great run for his money throughout. Laura Samadio, the Italian driver, finishes in 3rd, just ahead of Takumi Yamato. 2 Japanese drivers in the top 5. Great effort. Speaking of top 5, Vasco Sorowski for Team Clowns, leading ANZ driver after qualifying all the way down in 14th. Sorry, 14th it was he qualified. And he's all the way up to 5th. So fantastic drive there from Sorowski. Giuseppe Tellini, the other Italian driver, he's finished 6th, just ahead of Paul Wilson. He'll be very pleased with the top 7 finish in the top split. George Maddock, the UK&I driver, right up with the leaders until he came unstuck, hung on to finish, or recovered to finish 8th, just ahead of ANZ's Braden Martin, the locked-on iRacer. Randy Van Deventer, who joins us, I think, for the first time, actually, judging by the tongue-twisting attempt that I had at his name. He was finished 10th. Hirokazu Fukumoto, another one making his debut, the Japanese driver, finished 11th after starting last on the grid. Mark Lay, another debutant, finished in 12th. Hiroshi Ueda, after his spin, the Japanese driver, finishing 13th. Dimitri Philippides, another one who had an incident, in 14th. Mitchell Nichols, yet another incident for the ANZ driver, in 15th. And Marcus Dorner, who we saw, pretty much launched into another universe almost after his incident. He finished all the way down in 16th, Corey.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see some of these debutants doing really well, Alex. The quality that these guys put on for this race, although with a couple of field splitting incidents throughout the race, they definitely made the most of their pockets of excitement. And, it was great to see the guys still put on a show, even when it's just, maybe a 2x2 kind of a race.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got a couple of folks waiting for an interview, so we might grab Julian O'Fray, our race winner. Julian, congratulations tonight, mate. Talk us through that final sector, the run through Brundle and Nelson, that very challenging section there. You did the over-under on Nagai, who I was amazed at could get it around the outside there of Brundle. So many failed there this week. Talk us through that final portion of the race where you're able to get it done.
Hello. Can you repeat just the last part
sorry,
of
mate.
your...
Yeah, I was just saying, can you tell us about the move that won the race for you? It was beautiful to watch.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I think about what I will to do all race long. This is why I stay a bit far from the Nagai back to avoid to to do bad things during I'm in my mind. You understand?
Yeah.
And I decide to overtake at the straight line near pit. And after that, I don't really know what will happen. I just adapt and I decide to do something. I hope he don't wait from me, and it paid. So I think it was a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It was great to watch. The skill of both you and Nagai through that very very challenging little section there was fantastic, and I'm very impressed that you're able to get it done. It was a good move and good driving from both of you, but certainly a good finish to the race here for you tonight. A great win at a tough track. So congratulations, mate. Is there anyone you'd like to say g'day to or thank while we have you here?
Yeah, sure. I want to thank Nagai because he's a really a respectful driver and you for your amazing job. Like every week, I really enjoy to watch what you do.
Yeah, great. Thanks, mate. We love having you and look forward to speaking to you again in the second half of the season. Thanks, Julian.
Thank you. Bye.
There you go, Corey. That was Julian O'Fray, our race winner here tonight, and did a fantastic job.
That's exactly right, Alex. And you could hear the excitement in his voice for that win, and especially the way that he conducted himself in that pass on the final lap. He was just over the moon with how that final sector went for him. And, it's great to see him getting results. I know when he first came back a couple of seasons ago, he was struggling a little bit, and, we were a little bit worried about the ring rust that he was showing. But now he's definitely showing us that he's back on form and back on top.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, hard not to walk away with a smile on your face after a battle like that at the end. Might have only been a 2-car battle, not a 5-car or something like that, but certainly very enjoyable between two good races. So we might grab our next guest tonight. Fifth place tonight after not qualifying, certainly where he would have liked to. Mr. Vasco Sorowski, mate, tell us about your race coming through the field.
Hello, boys. Yeah, that was different. We somehow I've got to stop getting these black flags in quali and actually get to set a lap and be calm about it and all that. So we made a mess of it. And then, I don't know, there's a bit of carnage in front of me, mate. I didn't get to see it all. But, yeah, a few fell off. We got a few. Giuseppe put up a really good battle, mate. And at one point, I think we got a bit close, but we both got through it. I was actually surprised that we ended up in P5. I could see Amadio and Yamada who getting closer to us, and I thought maybe we got a chance, but yeah, a bit ragged in the end and stuff. But yeah, it was all good. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that leaves you still as the leading ANZ driver in the top 5 for the overall standings, mate. So that's shaping up to be a good one.
Oh, we'll take that. Thanks, boys. I'm a bit disappointed about quali because we did the warm-up race and I originally thought that, we were lacking pace, but then in that we hung with Nagai and Afray pretty good. And then I thought, well, did they can this one? But it's hard when you're coming from all the way down there. And it's just a bit of luck that got us through it in the end. But yes.
Mate, you got to take it when you get it. That's what I reckon. So, and I always say there's an element of making your own luck in all of these. And certainly to finish with a good result, as they say, you got to finish. So well done, mate. Congratulations on the top 5. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
You guys, as always, thank you for the awesome stuff that you all do. All the other drivers, obviously for being so great, and they all are. And the usual clowns, Greg, Martin, Doug and Justin, and of course my lovely daughter Bethany has to get the mention. So thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, beautiful. Shout out to Bethany. Check out Daddy, did a good one tonight, so that's great. All right, mate, we'll look forward to seeing you in the rest of the season and hopefully with some more good results.
Thanks, Alex. See you soon. Thanks.
There you go, Corey. Vasco Sorowski sounding pretty happy with stuff tonight.
Oh, that's definitely right, Alex. I mean, he might be a bit of a clown outside of the car, but he's all business inside of the car, and that definitely showed tonight with his 5th placing. And hopefully more good results like that coming his way. As you said, the leading AusNZ driver at the moment in the championship, and it's not hard to see why when he's getting results like this week in and week out.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. All right, one to go. We've got Mr. Braden Martin. Braden started ninth, finished ninth. I thought you were on for a good one there, but then came a bit unstuck at the hairpin, mate.
Story of my season at the moment. I can't seem to get any luck, to be honest, but oh well, it is what it is. I think Mitchell probably owed me one from Hockenheim a long time ago, so I guess we're even now.
Yeah, maybe, mate. But good to see you back in the top split, mate. And you had you were in it there for a while, and then of course the incident brought you unstuck. But got to have a bit of a run with George Maddock. He's no slouch out there, and hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless.
We were trying our best to try and catch up to the little pack ahead of us, but we just couldn't get within 2 seconds, unfortunately. But yeah, just yeah. And another interesting week. It's been really hard racing here this week. If people can't work together, it makes it really tricky. So
yeah, you could probably say that in most places too, I guess. But yeah, this one's got so many challenging corners that can bring you unstuck for sure, mate. But anyway, mate, we got you some points tonight. Finished inside the top 10 of the top split, which is always good points. So hopefully that'll get you a few spots up the ladder at the end of it, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the Locked On lads and the Locked On iRacing podcast. I'm sure we'll have a debrief about this on Tuesday night. The sponsors: CD Cinematography, 24/7 Race Control, Brewster.coffee, and RaceSomething.net. Oh my god, I have a mental blank. Yeah, that's okay.
Very good. All right, thanks, Braden. And again, folks, check out the Locked On iRacing podcast on a Wednesday, where Braden and I and Wilco will, of course, debrief over this race and the other SNL results, and look forward to it already. Thanks, Braden. Talk to you soon, mate.
Cheers, mate.
There you go, Corey. Braden Martin finished in P9 tonight. Hasn't been in the top split because we've had some bumper crops lately. But, yeah, not bad for car number 10. Finished P9. Probably come away with a few I rating and hopefully at least some enjoyment out of it.
Well, it sounds like he's definitely leaving here with a smile on his face. He had a great battle there with Maddock, and they were trying to catch up to the guys ahead. Found themselves to become a little bit short there, but all in all, it sounds like he enjoyed it, and the debrief should definitely be interesting there on the Tuesday when you guys record the podcast.
Yeah, hoping so. Looking forward to it. It's been a fun week. All right, folks, that might do us for tonight. Thank you for everyone who's joined us. Corey, do you want to let the folks at home know what you got on this week?
So this week, over on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator, we actually have nothing. We're going for a week break, and then we'll be back the week afterwards when we go to Road America for 25 laps of Next Gen Racing there. So nothing on there this week. We might put up a race replay of one of the events that we had, which is always a good laugh. Sometimes we have some good content that comes out. I know I've been a little bit slack with the streams on my personal channel lately, but I'm going to be looking at picking them up a little bit this week, a little bit of GTA roleplay, maybe a few chat AI races, which will always be a little bit of fun. And then back here next week with you when we go to our next circuit, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful. Off to Mid-Ohio next week. So another challenging US circuit on the schedule. But folks, don't forget, check out Locked On iRacing podcast. Braden, Wilco, myself, checking out all the ANZ action, including SNL recaps, of course. But everything Top Split is on your screen at the moment. Join us in the Discord, which is where all the SNL results and everything are hosted. A great little community there. It's also where we do the broadcast from. The Top Split YouTube is where you'll find this and all the other race replays from the 25 seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights. And of course, Top Split TV is where you'll find Corey and I each week on a Sunday night bringing this fine show to you. Thank you to everyone for your support both on and off track. It is very much appreciated. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So make sure you hit thumbs up, like, subscribe, all those things to those different platforms to help us get the good stuff out to more people. But for now, folks, thank you for joining us. And on behalf of the chaotic one, Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say ciao for now.